Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Bardstown Fire Chief, Marlon Howard, and you presented the 2012 yearbook for the City of Bardstown and Bardstown-Nelson County Volunteer Fire Departments to the Fiscal Court during the Fiscal Court meeting today. Let's review a little bit of some of the information you had in there.
Glad to. Yes, just the 2012 year in review. It takes into account some of the runs. It actually splits the two departments that we are on paper, the City of Bardstown Fire Department and the Bardstown-Nelson County Volunteer Fire Department, kind of working as one. Gives you a breakdown of some of those runs that you see inside there. Multiple different columns to add those runs into. So there's different categorizations of each different run. So it's more than just house fires, dumpster fires, and car fires.
Yeah, there's a lot in here with all the different incidences. They're all listed, and you can actually get a copy of this yearbook you might want to mention as well if you contact the fire department.
That's correct. They can contact the fire department. We'll be working over the next day or two to put it on our website. It's bardstownfire.com. You're welcome to go to that, and hopefully we'll have this up with a link at least so that you can see it online if you'd like it that way as well.
That's great. And it does say that the Bardstown Fire Department total calls in 2012 are 273, with the Bardstown-Nelson County Volunteer Fire Department total calls in 2012 being 213. And there is a breakdown of all of them in there. But you also had training. You had over 4,300 hours of total training for the year.
That's correct. I'm very proud of this page. All of these photos represent a training that some of our members were involved in, whether it was either in-house or at a training somewhere at a regional school. When you break down that 4,335 hours into the members, that's over 80 hours a year of training that these people have put in voluntarily of their time, being away from their family, just keep their skills to a level where they can actually help the community in time of need.
And readiness is something, too, that you're mentioning here. You want to show that, where you do a lot of different things. And also one coming up is your house burning soon, too.
That's correct. It's actually a house that was donated for burning, and that went on and carried through to a regional fire school. So the Dixie Firefighters Association hosts a school every year in E-Town, and what we've done is offered that house to them, and we're hosting it. So we'll have our equipment, our manpower, trucks, hoses, and all that. They're actually putting the burn together, and they'll be doing the plans for who goes in, when, where the fire will be lit. So be watching for it. On North 3rd Street, you'll see some smoke and flames, especially on Sunday afternoon. I believe he said around 2 o'clock they'll be looking to actually light the house up and let it burn to the ground. So it's all controlled. So don't be afraid it's going to get out of hand.
That's right. That's right. It should be a nice weekend for it, too, actually.
That's correct. Sounds like the weather is going to be extraordinary. That's right.
Now, here you have listed some notable events, and a lot of people will recall, for instance, the fire in the buildings there on 3rd Street. Also, you were mentioning that an arsonist that was captured, trucker returned, lightning strikes. These are all different things that the fire department's involved with.
And that's correct. Just some of the highlights through the year. We just actually sat down in a room, said what comes to mind first, and these are the things, the notable events. Of course, the North 3rd Street fire, which had the possibility of just taking so much of our history away from our town, and this is what these ladies and gentlemen train for on a daily basis, is to stop that loss and to preserve our historic town, and they take it seriously. They understand what that means to our tourism and everything. And not only our men and women, but we had other departments from the county respond and work with us as well, and we'd like to thank them again for doing that.
I want to mention that as we're recording this today, it's the day for the tornado drill around the state as well. And we're getting into the season where lightning does become more prominent, as well as tornadoes. So you were saying that you actually had a house where a street where two houses next to each other were hit at different days? That's
correct. One afternoon, a house on this street was struck by lightning. The next afternoon, the house next door was struck by lightning. It may have not been next door, 2 houses down, but it was right there on the same street. So it may not strike the same place, but it'll strike very close.
Also, I want to mention some of the good things that you do, too, which is raising over $34,600 for the Crusade for Children this past year.
That's correct, and that's all volunteer work. We supply trucks and get these people around. We love the input from the community that can come in. If you have clubs or you have a family that would like to do an absolutely great thing for a good organization, meet with Jonathan Mattingly and the Crusade committee that we have established at the fire department, they'll find a place for you, and it is actually something that's very gratifying for you to be able to go out and collect this money and see it turned into the Crusade for Children and what good it does for those, and it comes back to our community. The monies that are gathered for that Crusade for Children are kept regionally and spent back for the help of young people that need that help medically in our area.
Great. So again, this is the 2012 yearbook for the City of Bardstown and the Bardstown Nelson County Volunteer Fire Departments. You can get a copy of this if you contact the fire department. And on the back, you can also see the list of all the different volunteers who are involved. How many different members are there of the fire department?
It changes because of being volunteer, but we're right at the 50 mark. 50 members, 10 of which are paid at the City of Bardstown, work there during the day. Those who you'll be contacting to see about getting the books. We have a life safety inspector program. We have a public education program. The list goes on and on of things that have to be done on a daily basis.
If you want a copy of this, or if you want to volunteer, you can contact the fire department. And what's the phone number for them to contact?
Is area code 502-349-6562.
Thank you very much. I've been talking with Marlon Howard, who is the chief for the fire departments here in Nelson County and Bardstown. Scary White for Central Kentucky Television.